What is going on, y'all? What's going on? I hope y'all week was chill. You know what I'm saying? Mine's was might hear the kids in the back. They bring me in. Mine's was chill. It was busy, but it was chill. You know what I mean? Um, Obviously, like I tell y'all, I go to work and I do. Hey guys, be quiet. Yeah, I do consistent. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. I'm live. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so like I said, I go to work and I do uh, extensive observation when I'm out in the street because that's where you really see the reality. Hold on, they gonna have to. Hold on. Guys, y'all gotta be quiet for a little bit. Because I'm live right now. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, I go to work and I do some serious observation and I observe, analyze, and then I'll come back to you guys, and then I'll tell you what's going on. At the same time, what I study and what I learn, I also apply it here because a lot of people have the jail complex. As soon as they learn something and they come home, they're ready to spit it out, and what I'm saying, without digesting it in themselves first. What I'm saying. I'm not saying dudes from jail do that. I'm saying, you know, the hype of learning something like that and you ready to just brag it all out before you take heed to it and provide it to yourself. That's what I mean. So in that sense, I observe, apply it to myself, and then what I learn and break down and get from it, I come back and I tell you guys. So every day is an observing day. So um, tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Lovely T. Y'all know it from Better Minds Interrupting. So you make sure y'all go right on Instagram and Facebook, go into Better Minds and show some birthday shout outs because birthdays, I think you missed the part. The first word of it is called birth. Forget the day. It's just birth. Birth is very special because you come into this world. You are created into Mother Earth. The mother brung you into this earth, which is why women are the carriers of children. The mother brings you into this earth for you to harmonize and balance within its frequency. But as you can see the title, there's lots of spirit attacks. Now, a lot of you who may feel like you're into the spirituality deep, you may feel like you know more than what you know. And if you do, you're only at the beginning. I don't even think you're at the tip of the iceberg yet. To really overstand the grasp of spirituality or what you would call paranormal activity, you understand what I'm saying? It's all spiritual activity. There is nothing paranormal. To call something paranormal in your mind is to say that it is not normal to you. But this has something that has been going on for years, years, years. years and years and years and years and years. In fact, at a point, there was time where you can see spirits and all different types of these creatures at one point before we lost the conscious. When you read Earth Spell, it talks about the loss of consciousness on Earth. I'll come back to that. It's just an intro into the pintro. So a lot of times you feel as though you know more of what you already know, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Some of you are sensitive to spirituality in the sense of you have a sixth or seventh sense. Excuse me. I like to say seventh sense. Some of you can see and hear things. Some of you can feel. You can feel people's emotion. You can feel their aura. You can feel what they're going to do in the future. Or you could feel what they've done in the past. Some of you have these things within you. What I'm here to talk about, though, is the spirit attacks. The spirit attacks is what's going on now in the most horrible way right now. Now, I'm sure you are hearing about these bodies popping up every day. Somebody's getting killed. I know you've heard about the Disney and the Nickelodeon scandals about the pedophiles in there, and I still don't know how certain people are in these companies still working around children. In fact, these children more than so get the most spirit attacks, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual. They get attacked constantly when in these companies, whether on Disney, network television, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're constantly being attacked. And you can tell when you watch some of these Disney kids and Nickelodeon kids, and you notice a change in their demeanor, like in the beginning, it was innocent. And then, like, after you watch them a while, you're like, oh, you sure grown up fast. Look how fast you acting and things like that. That, in my mind, that's how I know they've been touched up. I'm just telling you straight out of my mouth. And you can tell the people in these companies, in these industries, in these businesses, the ones that do not want to talk, I feel as though it's not that they scared that someone is going to humiliate them. I think that they're scared that someone is going to find out that they're doing it too because it was done to them. That is what I think is going on. That can be the only way someone would have to shut up their mouth. To me, money is not that good for you to threaten me with anything. You want to threaten me with losing my career and job? Trust me, I don't need to be in Hollywood in the first place. You want to threaten me with a company I work at? I don't need to work here. If you have to go through that length of extent for me to not telling you on something wrong you have done, yeah, narcissism at its best.
What was the dude's name?
What was his name again? What was his name?
From Disney.
No, it was Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider?
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Dan Schneider. And the way these men and women prey on these little boys and girls, that's the physical attack. But the spiritual attack is in these people who are doing the attacking on these children, who are doing the attacking in these murders, in these robberies, in these rapes. But it's not so much of they're picking anybody to do it. They're picking already fucked up minded people to attach themselves to because they already have that mentality. They already have that essence in them that they want to do some fucked up shit like this in the first place. So there we have these children's always being killed, always being molested, always being treated wrong. I told y'all in the beginning of the show, no one cared about children. Here I am now. Hmm. When an energy or spirit decides to attach itself to a host, with host being the person, there are certain characteristics of it has to attach itself to. It has to attract itself, has to attract itself to you first before it attaches itself. And how it does that is that it has to be something wrong with you. You have to be depressed, a person always angry, ready to argue, uh, a person that likes to rob, get drunk, takes heavy drugs, heavy addictions, whatever it is, whether it's drugs, sex, robbing, whatever it is, they attach themselves to that. And then notice once they attach themselves to that, those people they take their addiction to a higher level, to an uncontrollable level, to a greedy level. Speaking of greed, what is greedy? What is greedy? Can you read for them what greed is?
Greed, in the Oxford Dictionary, is a strong desire for more wealth, possession, power, etc., than a person needs.
So, to break it down, because I have to break it down for myself. So, to break it down for you, simplest terms, easy terms. If you have a home and you have food in your fridge packed up, and everyone has eaten, but there's one child who wants more. Everybody's eating, and one child wants more. Is that child greedy, or is it enough for them to have more? Or is it more than what they needed? Depends on your stomach, doesn't it? Well, hold on. Why do people greed for money? Can you have more money than what you already have? No, because if you're rich, you're rich. If you don't want to be rich no more and you want to be wealthy, then the money does change. But then there's different aspects of wealth. Some have agriculture, some have business, some have it passed down from family to family. But if you look at it in that sense, hold on. If you look at it in that sense, if it's passed down, is that greed? If it's inherited, is that greed? Or is it when you were never used to having and now you've had? And because you already have enough now that you have, you are craving more. Now the greed begins. So my question was, can a spirit that attacks you, can a spirit greedy? Your response was no in the beginning.
I want to change that.
But now,
Can I give a response?
yeah, go ahead.
And a reason?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, a spirit can be greedy. Why? Because spirit crave what? Energy. The more energy they crave, isn't that being greedy? Because it's, but hold on, now wait a minute. How do we know how much a spirit needs, though, in order for us to say they're being greedy? Is there a standard?
Well, I'm so glad this question has been asked because When you thinking of a spirit, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. 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 Give me. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. When you are thinking of spirits, what do spirits look for? They look for energy. Why do they look for energy? Because it's like a high. It's like okay. When you're dealing with this book and you're talking about God, the reason why the angels wanted to stick next to him, this is not, I'm not talking your religion. Listen to me. Remember, I said the self, the will, and then you had the Father manifestation, the will being the mother of all, and the self being the Father, the God. The angels had a ulterior motive when they was hanging around God. They wanted his light because they felt the more light they got for him, that they can be him. Y'all got the story twisted. Yes, Lucifer wanted the Godhead. He wanted the Godhead. But there was no, he was in control of music and he was a fallen angel. No, 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 no. There was none of that. Those same spirits and entities and energies, they decided on their own to come to Earth. Earth is the mother of all planet. That is hers. If you ain't hip on what I'm saying, then you're just not hip. People have different definitions of what I'm breaking down. So if you have your own breakdown, then you understand what I'm speaking about. We should move on. He has no power to go against the Father of all. He has none. You know why? Because every time he talks shit, he is met face to face to do something, and he never engages in a fight. So, what do spirits do? Certain spirits now, keeping in mind when I say spirits, I know I just broke down the angels and I'm not talking about them because honestly and truly, they have no reason to really directly interfere. I can influence. But you have to look at a different aspect when you're talking about angels now. Because a lot of people think angels are something that's good or bad. But I'm here to tell you that it's like angels like it's like the police. The police are not obligated to interfere in any crime. If they don't want to, they don't have to. They're not obligated to take your case at all. So look at them like that. The ulterior motive is to gain more light, to feel like I am more than the Godhead and I can become the Godhead. So when the spirit attaches to you, it is looking for energy. The reason why it's looking for energy, because it's trying to grow more power. It's trying to grow more energy. It's trying to manifest itself so it can be able to do certain things. So you have these people on the YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a seer and I'm a hearer. I can see them and I can hear them. So I'm constantly hearing things. I'm constantly hearing things. I'm constantly seeing it all of the time. The difference is my ancestors constantly surround me. So I know where the messages come from, which is why your antennas are very important. So again, we grab the energy, and the biggest energy other than addiction is fear. I know I'm gonna come to this shit right now. If I can scare you, I can feed. By me feeding, I gain strength. Because we all know that eating is for your survival. Whether you're a human or a spirit or a deity, it doesn't matter. If I attach myself to you because of something you're addicted to, that addiction may be something that I used to do. And because of you doing it, I am able to gain energy off of that. Do you follow what I'm saying? Let me say it another way. If you are a person who surrounds yourself, if you never committed a crime, if you never punched somebody in their face, but every day for 3 months straight, you hang around dudes on the corner, and that's all they do. They be hustling and knocking dudes out. I'm not saying you're knocking somebody out, but the energy, because your presence was there every day for 3 months, that energy is drawn to you. When you are away from them and when you are around others, you now portray a certain thing now about you that wasn't. Spirit attack. I attached myself. That energy got attached to you. You see, you have to understand nothing is for a reason, or it you have this saying, oh, it must have happened for a reason, or it was supposed to happen. That is false. I'm here to tell you that is false. You are always in control of the outcome. Stop thinking the latter. You are always in control of every outcome. You're in control of the outcome of your environment, okay? And I'm not talking about where you live. I'm talking about the actual environment. Nature, because nature was put there for our communication. That is the mother communicating with us. How we respond is watering the plants, growing the stuff, proper agriculture, proper treatment of the air, proper treatment of the ocean, proper treatment of all of the creatures on earth. Notice I said creatures because every book you read, whether it's holy or spiritual, it always tells you about animals and creatures. So do not sit up here naive thinking that we are the only ones on this planet. That shit been went out the door. We can get into that. We can get into that a whole nother time. This is not about that. This is about spirit attack. Now, girls is active today, but the happy spirit with them. Now, the interesting part, I'm not saying interesting in a good way or a bad way. I'm saying interesting as an information. The interesting part about spirit attack is that the person it attaches itself to, if they are, or if you can't, all right, how about this? I will phrase it. If you are a person that is centered around meditation, and in the midst of that, you feel a spirit attack, whether it's a negative thought or a vibe or anything, at that moment, you can capture it. You capture that thought. And while you're in the process of meditating, whether you're cleaning, whether you're sitting, whether you're working out, all of that is meditating, whether you're playing music and just sitting down, at that moment, that thought comes around. You grab that thought. You bring that thought in front of you because that is the spirit. You bring that thought in front of you and you present yourself. And what? Why are you here? Because guilt is not just a word. Stop it. Guilt is an actual spirit. And when guilt comes into your mind, holy shit, you are attacked from all different directions. Guilt makes you give in to the negative shit you are saying about yourself and people. That's what guilt does. It is the guilt. Guilt is a spirit. So if guilt attacks you, I'll give you an example. If you are at work, matter of fact, I'll give you 3 examples. If you are at work, right, and you know you're a good worker, right? You know nothing you have done was ever wrong, right? So you notice certain things, the job will look past because you don't do anything wrong. This particular day, you get accused of something you know you didn't do, right? So now you come back in from your lunch break and you get told, well, the boss wants to talk to you. You start sitting down. Let me show you how I get where you start sitting. What happened? This, that, and the third happened, and you was the last person here. But I didn't do it. Did I do it? Was I? You see? And that right there was the first attack. What you should have did was This is what you do next time. How you want to talk to me about what? All right, I'll wait for. If guilt cannot get to you, it will transfer to the person giving the message. I don't know, man, because they saying it was you. So, you made to think about it and stuff. Look here, look here, look here. You go back to work. I will deal with this because I already know. I wasn't here or I didn't do it. Second example, you're outside, you walk into your car. Police pull up, they stop you, and they ask for your ID because somebody just get robbed and they say you fit the description. Automatically, when you see the cop, before you even tell you, automatically you started feeling away, like you were guilty or you did something. Why do you think in court they use the term guilty, innocence? Innocence is also a spirit, but it is a word too. But guilt, they know guilt is a spirit. That's why they use guilty. They put that word first. Guilty until proven innocent. They want you to feel the guilt. They want you to be guilty. Because while you're feeling guilty, now you can accept the guilt that was attacking you. And you like, you know what? I think I did do that shit. Third example, you're around your friends, right? And your boy like, yo, my dude said he saw you and my girl, what you call it? And you like, that's weird because number one, in no way, shape, or form you're attracted to his girl, and number two, he was nowhere in that area because, to give a hypothetical, you was at work or some shit. But because he telling you, his man told him, his man already put guilt on him. So now in his mind, he's feeling as it's true. So now you sitting back thinking like, why the hell would he think that? And so now the guilt start playing on you women because now you're worried about it and things of that nature. Now you got to worry about this shit on your mind. You have to be very careful about what you bring into your mind. What you feel, that little chill a moment that you feel, you must analyze it. And I know I use that word a lot, but it's for a reason. Because analyze actually means to analyze. Break it down. See what's really wrong. See what was your part that was wrong in it. And see how you were attacked spiritually. Spiritual attacks, I told you already. Spiritual attacks comes from addiction. Okay? Hold on. It comes from addiction. And it comes from guilt. The third place it comes from is from others doing things to you. They can go to a reader. They can go to an altar. They can go to someone who knows the work. And once they have enough information about you, they don't have to take your hair or your sample anymore. All they need is your first, last name, and to know enough information about you to go ahead and try, because I'm using the word try and I don't believe in the word try. They try to screw your life up. And the reason why I said the word try to screw your life up is because if you accept the things that was a stumble, not a fall, if you accept the things that was a stumble and you be like, well, why is this happening? Now it begins the full attack on you. I know you may have got up one day you woke up and you was going outside, you was going to work for that whole day. And that whole day, you didn't know why it was going wrong at all, at all, for no reason. Why is this day going like this? Okay, why do you know? Hold on, I'm live. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. It's on the bed or something. It's right here. It's right here. Hold on, guys. My daughter's talking to me. Go ahead. Close the door. Yeah, you had this bad day and you don't know where it came from. You're like, why is all of this going on right now? Why am I going through this right now? All I did was wake up. I went to put gas in my car. I didn't bother anybody. What? What? Why is my car not working? Why? Why is this happening on the highway right now? Why am I being? What is going on? Yes, multiple attacks. You don't know why someone would even have the thought of doing you wrong. But people never forget. Never forget. It doesn't matter the smallest thing you may have not have known you could offended somebody, and they took that personally. And they decided to go back to who they know to start spirit cooking, to start doing every single spirit work in their book to get you down. There's people who just open businesses, and some people don't like that because it might hurt their businesses. Then they'll go to their altar, then they'll practice their work just to sabotage somebody else's business. There are people who would do this, they will sabotage someone's relationship, not to get the other person, but because they don't have that same thing. It goes so deep. But on the spirit side of it, when it's attacking, the spirit is just having fun because it can do whatever it wants to do. But if you conjure something, you cannot leave it there. You must give it something to do, because if not, it will attack you. A lot of y'all do things. I'm doing this spirit work so I could get some money, or I could win this because I want some big money. And after you do the work, you don't banish it, and you don't expel it, or you don't remove it. You linger it. And while it's lingering, it needs something to do. And while it's there, it starts attaching to you, and all type of shit start happening in your home and around your family. And while you sitting there, you don't know why this is exactly going on. You start saying, oh my goodness, I've never been behind a car payment. I've never missed a rent. I've never. Hold on. I could have sworn you're not looking at the signs. You guys think everything is physical and everything happens by chance. This is what's wrong. Earth spell, the loss of consciousness on earth. The loss of consciousness on earth, not in people, the earth itself. The earth belongs to the mother. I told you that. Get it out of your head. This belongs to the mother of all. The mother of all brought all creation onto this earth. There are people right now who want to leave the earth. Trust and believe. They dip out, they will not be allowed back in. The mother's not having that. You know why? Because all creation is here. And if you leave out of creation. If you do not understand this, I will educate you. I've been doing this for a very long time. So if you do not understand what I'm talking about and you have your own perspective, that's fine. But you must be open-minded. Open-minded does not mean you just take one thing and run with it. You must go into all things. Marcus Garvey said you must read all things. Now let me continue. The spirit's job, okay? And I'm not going into what specific spirit because y'all not really ready for that deepness yet. Those of you who are, then you know what I'm talking about, and we can get into that on another show. Spirit's job is to permanently grab all the energy it needs so it can manifest itself to continue to do things. This planet used to be a magical planet, but because of loss of consciousness, purposeful, because they wanted to tap into money, wars, greed, guilt, Guilt fed into their brain. So now they're stuck in this plane. We're all in this plane right now. White light spirits, gold light spirits, okay? Mother warriors, father warriors, all here. All here. Things you see, things you hear, it is not by chance. It is a reason for this because it's always been here. You just weren't open, not in the ears, you weren't open in the mind to actually receive those things, to know that these things have always been going on. But now we have commercialized these things by just making spook videos and not actually paying attention to what's really going on, because now these are actual spirit attacks. And a lot of people do not know how to fight back, but you can fight back. You don't think you can fight a spirit? You actually can. You actually can. When you sleep, I don't know if you ever had a dream or what you thought was a dream and you had a fight. Well, I don't know. Some people say they run slow, but they think so. Me, not me. I've gotten to actual altercations, a few, more than a few altercations in my dreams, and I've always come out on top because I already know what's in me and what's around me. So I already tapped into that. The purpose is for you to tap into that. You're not supposed to. Before I say this, when I'm outside, I'm not looking at another person as my enemy. I'm looking at them like they're so tapped into this 3 dimension that they don't realize that if they were to just slightly look outside of that, just slightly, they will have a different perspective and a different experience in their life that they actually can, that they actually could appreciate, knowing that after this flesh, you go off to do much more amazing things. But we want to be stuck on stupid. There's a good lesson to learn when you're dealing with spiritual attachment. There's a good lesson. The first lesson is from the time you step out of your safe zone, which is your home, there's all kind of attacks already outside. All those energies are already out there. Whether it's day, afternoon, night. Stop getting this idea. 12 o'clock is the witch's hour. Any hour is the witch's hour. Any hour, anybody could be doing any ritual. Stop watching. These movies are giving you half truths and lies. Just stop it. Any hour is a witch's hour. I don't got to wait till midnight to do something. Now, certain rituals may call for a full moon, but I can do any ritual at any goddamn time. It don't have to be midnight. That's the problem with people. You're watching this, and then you're watching these movies and films and shit, and you're not realizing they bullshitting you. Because real spiritual attacks, that shit ain't pretty, man. It's not only attacking the body like you see in movies, it's attacking your job. You start noticing that you're slacking at work and you don't even know why, what this energy came in you for. You don't even know why you feel tired. Like, you don't feel tired in your mind. You know what I mean? There's nothing physically wrong with you or internally with your body. And you just feel tired, or you feel like this and that, and you don't know where it's coming from. Man, they've been playing with these energies and spells on earth for the longest. And y'all just been sitting there thinking, oh my God. No, you're being so narcissistic that you don't realize there's a spiritual energy that attacks these fucking people who do these mass shootings. You don't just wake up fucking one day wanting to do this shit. You don't just sniff coke or get on heroin and be like, I'm about to shoot up a place. And to kill and have no remorse? None of y'all seen some of these people on this on YouTube. These people in court, they have no remorse for what they did. And you can look at them. You can look at them. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Side. I'll be looking at them. I'll be like, motherfuckers think they crazy. This is what I'll be saying. Motherfuckers think they crazy until they see crazy. And I meant, when I said that, I meant like, if it, that couldn't have been me. You did that to a family member of mine. You would have did that to, because that would have been the day you really would have thought you would have saw crazy for real. But these are spiritual attacks. Something, someone, one's orchestrating. You think this whole damn country run by this government, and because of what they're saying and doing, everybody's like just falling in line? No, they got their own spirit cookers in place. They got their own spirit cookers in place. You have 85% of the people fooled because they are dumb as shit, and they believe every single thing that comes off of that news box. That news box is another spirit attack. Because for some reason, the people on the news make it seem like things are going on outside and they're not a part of it. The news people, these damn journalists and anchor men and women make it seem like they're not a part of what's going on out there. Oh, this happened. Yeah, it's a tough road out there. You know what I mean? Like, you're in it too. Don't sugarcoat that shit. Y'all are not good actors. You need to understand that as well. They took all news and turned it into a TV show because people stopped watching. You need to call them out on their shit. One person cannot do the job. Everyone must wake up. Before you wake everyone up, you have to start with the house first. The problem with a lot of these people on these platforms is you're so quick to jump up on the platform, but you don't put these knowledge in children first. And I always, from day one, I always tell my children, before I even got on this stupid box, I tell these kids the truth. I don't need them being attacked. Y'all get addicted to wanting to do harm to people so much in your mind that you start to get attacked yourself because you're feeding that same energy that you want to dish out to someone else. You thinking it's all in your mind. You're thinking, oh, it's just how you are. Sometimes you have an attitude with people. Sometimes you just get upset. No, you do not. No, you do not. It is a presence that came to you because it saw you being like that, and it took advantage of you because it can feed off of that same energy. Okay? So now the spirit attachment can now begin to start the attack. Once it attack, the first attack is the mind, because I can get you to feel guilty about something. I can get you to be mad at someone. I can get you to not want to feel like doing anything for no one. I can get you to be in a attitude. Those are all attacks. Stop thinking it's just you just in the mood today. I'm not in the mood today. No. Something got you that way. It don't happen out of the blue when you wake up. We all have messages we get every single day. Sometimes messages come in our mind. It comes when we're watching something that we need to hear, and right on time, we might hear something and that's what we needed to hear from friends. Those are all spirits. You have your positives, you have your ancestors too that are attached to you, and they'll come and they'll give you certain messages. By you ignoring it and not allowing yourself to open your mind and receive all of this information, you now block it out and you begin to get attacked. Who is the person in control of your life? Is it what's attacking you, or is it you? Do not say it's you if it's not. When you're dealing with the mind, pineal gland, pituitary gland, okay, you have your left hemisphere, your right hemisphere. Now the lie has been you can't use both sides of the brain. That is a lie. You can access both. In fact, you access both sides, both hemispheres of the brain every single day, especially when you sleep. Whatever your talent is, whatever your talent that you know you're good at, no one is better than you at that, that's both of your brains. Do you want me to repeat that for you? Okay? Whatever you're good at, whatever makes you you, that's both hemispheres of your brain. You can access them at all times. But when you hear words like, see, this is what I'm telling you about spirit attacks. It even come in the form of words. If you're hearing things like, we only could access 5% of our brain anyway, and you're hearing that access on TV and social media and things like that. When you hear that, it does something to you when you hear, oh, no, you don't. So now you start doubting your own self. The doubt becomes the guilt. So now you start reducing the access you have to your brain. Don't do that. Never take someone just bullshit. You are the navigator. The navigator meaning wherever direction you want to go in, you control that. You control that. You control that. You control it. No one controls you. Our parents don't control us. They was there to guide us, raise us, give us instructions, teach us morals, respect, and how to deal with others. Once we step outside of the house, it is up to us. It is up to us to decide what direction we go in. So, children, if you are in a privileged family, a family that come from money, learn from this lesson right now. You do not have to do what your parents want you to do because that doesn't make you you. If they want to cut you off, let them cut you off. Let them cut you off. What do you press? What do you press for? You can make your own money. From what's going on now, how these youngsters is making their own money, their own bread, and what they're doing with fashion and makeup and clothes and these crystals and stones and jewelry and all these extra types of things and acting and directing their own things and doing tricks and the TikToks and all of that stuff. You don't need to do what your parents are telling you to do. And I'm talking to the people who comes from a privileged home. For those who don't come from a privileged home, I don't need to tell y'all that. We already do it. We already did it. If you feel as though you can express yourself because what your family is going to say, then you have locked yourself down into a prison that is going to be hard for you to come out of until you address that. Your prison is exactly what I said it is. Your prison. No one is in control of you. No one is in control of you. No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you who to hate. No one can tell you what to wear, where to learn, where to be healthy. Do you get what I'm saying? If I turn the ship this way, that's because I wanted to go this way. If you didn't want to go that way, get off of my ship. You weren't invited. When those thoughts come in, that's exactly how you treat it. You were invited into this space. So remove yourself from this space. People think talking to themselves makes them great. Talking to yourself is just knowing yourself that you know how to yo, why are you thinking about that shit? Why are you thinking about that shit? Whatever your name is, Tom, Joey, Tammy, Rami, Jam, whatever your name is, you just say to yourself, yo, John, what the fuck? Why would you think that about yourself? Yo, get the fuck out of my head. Get the hell out of my head. You don't need that around. Let me tell you something. Do you know the reason why I keep my circle small? It's because the spirit in me tells me that I am all I need as company. I am all I need as company. I like to be around like-minded people, and then that's it. Because the way I am, I'm always analyzing and learning, and I like to apply. And after I apply, I like to go ahead and manifest it. And then when I manifest it, I go back and apply something else and make sure I'm always constantly working on me and the family. What works for me that is going to work for them. That is exactly how it has to be. We are selfish now because now everybody is like, well, I don't care about family. What's just going to only work for me? Well, that you can't do that now because you are in a family. You have a family. You have a wife. You have a husband. You have children. And I don't care what the pandemic did. This is a commitment. You can't just decide to jump out and run now. You know why? Because the only person that gets hurt is the children. Now, when that happens, all type of spirit attacks happen. Children start to act different, especially around their parents. Start acting weird around their parents. Now secrets begin. They start hiding things. Now they start hiding things. They start doing things they shouldn't be doing in the first place. Now the wrong age group is attracted to your child. Your child already feels neglected. So now the child gets violated. And if you're sitting here right now and tell me that doesn't happen, you should slap yourself. Because that's exactly what it happened. You refuse to ask your child how their day was. You refuse to go through your child's phone. You refuse to actually get involved with your child. Refuse, you know. When the child doesn't trust you anymore, that is it. That is it. Once the trust is gone from the parent, that is the worst thing you can do. Because now the only thing they're going to listen to is people outside. Because the people outside have been giving them the wrong attention, but it was some kind of attention, a kind of attention that you weren't giving them. So now I know a lot of y'all have parents out there who are very privileged and entitled, and they feel as though you are supposed to follow suit or get in line as they want you to so you don't embarrass the family. Well, you need to get out of that. I am here to tell you that is going to hurt you so badly if it isn't hurting you now. Because if you become like that and do what your parents say in that sense, what I've just explained, that means you're doing that around friends. That means you're picking and choosing who should be your friends in terms of category, finances, race. It becomes, you understand now, it becomes, I was going to say topsy turvy, but it's not topsy turvy. It becomes a battle within yourself because now, once you, here's the flip side. When you do that, now you start to see the friends that you chosen to surround yourself with. They are open minded and they're around all walks of life, but you didn't accept all of those walks of life. So now you start looking at your friends that you chose to be around as weird, and now they start to remove themselves from you. And then you realize you were the problem all along. Do you know how lonely that feels? No, I don't know because I don't do that. But that will feel very messed up to you because you've been embedded and you've been trained in your mind from your family and your upbringing that it was okay to do this type of behavior to people. It was okay to treat them that. That is a spiritual attack. That is a spirit attack. That energy placed on you. It was a seed and you watered it and it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew and you embraced it. So you're stuck with a problem. Here's your problem. Now you got depression. You get bad anxiety. You get anxious. You get a nervous feeling for some reason. You don't know why. You're socially awkward. Spirit attack. Things that happen to you in your mind and in your body for no reason, or your mood for no apparent reason when you weren't in that mood in the first place. It just took that opportunity to go ahead and attach itself into you because I just want to mess with you. I need a feeding. What you have going on with you right now can feed me. All of these abandoned buildings that these people do these urban explorations in to find ghosts, and all the spiritual energy that they find is lingering around there because it's looking for energy in there. It is looking for something to do. It is looking for something to fuck with. You guys really don't understand what's going on right now. This isn't, with this whole pandemic and shit like that, this is a spiritual attack. This is a mental and spiritual attack. You're the only ones too slow to realize that shit. Because you're hearing fancy words like needles and vaccine and this and that and the third. Because you're hearing words like that that pertain to the physical in your mind, that's not a spiritual attack. That is very spiritual. That is very witchcraft. That is very ritual. What are you not? What? How many more things I have to throw in front of your face? Have you seen the latest commercial? Let me tell you something. Amazon grocery have a commercial, yo. Two girls stretching and working out, and she goes, I'm hungry, but yeah, I need to get something that has variety. Oh, yeah, something fresh and stuff. And then boom, Amazon commercial. There's another commercial where um um black people, of course, they have black people sitting across from each other. I guess they're family members, and one family member is crying to telling the other family member they should get the shot. You know what I'm saying? Because they care about them so much. I said, look at this commercial right here. And everyone did what? If Here's my thing. I don't care what adults want to do with their bodies, but when you involve children, it pisses me off. That's a hot button for me. These things y'all do with kids is a hot button. I see people willingly giving up their children to get that shit. I see parents willingly, I said children, I see parents willingly giving up their children in entertainment, allowing entertainment to do whatever with their child. Y'all sitting there blaming the industry. You need to blame the industry and the parents. You should hear the parents when they're asked. When they're asked about what their children can do or limited to do, you should hear the parents. They're like, go ahead, it's fine. Because it's the money that they want. What type of spirit they allow themselves to connect with, that they want their own child to go through these traumas. Let me tell you something. The disrespect for the youth here, the youth are supposed to replace us. And what it looks like is you're trying to get the youth to feel like they're so much older than you that you ready to take them out just so you can live a little longer. Organ harvesting, which I feel like it slowed down because, the pandemic or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's just my assumption. That's just my assumption. But, people find a way. These things you have to take heed and analyze in yourself. Because when these moods come up and these thoughts come up and these patterns happen from out of the blue and it's not you, that's when you take the time to take that thought, you take that mood and you bring it in front of you, present it in front of you, and you ask it, meaning yourself, why are you here now? This is not what I need. This is not what I need. You are a distraction to me, and I'm here progressive. Once you do that, you just defeated your lower self. Because it's always going to mess with you. Pause. Go ahead. I'm doing the show. No, my daughters. If they call me, I'm stopping. So just have that respect. It doesn't matter where you live, what country you're from. If you are allowing certain things to attach to you, you have to let it go. There's a way for you to always get that balance. Whether you do ballet, whether you do kung fu, whether you do boxing, whether you do kickboxing, whether you jog, okay, whether you run, whether you do gymnastics, whether you sweep, whether you clean, whether you play music, it is all a form of meditation and it's all a form of you, okay, getting peace into yourself, okay? And what you need to understand is that the only person creating the problem, other than the spirit attack, is you. Do not allow things to happen to you. Do not want to be a victim just because of the attention you receive. That's not a good energy to have. To have people always feeling sorry and pity for you, it will always leave you feeling depressed. And the only thing that will make you satisfied is attention. But that same attention is a depressed, pitiful attention, and you don't want that. It will break you down. And if you have been doing that, please notice that in yourself. Please notice you are a type of person that you like to create drama just so you can feel comfortable in having an altercation, just so you can get something off your chest. Don't do that. Get whatever you're feeling out. Express it. Whether you express it screaming, express it to someone, express it to yourself if it's you, or express it to someone who is doing it to you. Once you get it out and you release it, it is no longer affecting you. It is no longer a burden. It is no longer something you can carry on your shoulder. You removed it, you defeated that part of yourself. If you get pure frankincense, the stone, if you get the pure frankincense, what you do is you get frankincense by itself and you get the myrrh by itself. What you do is you get the charcoal that burn, when you light the lighter to it, it lights up itself. Get that charcoal. You put it in a mini cauldron, mini one, small one. You take your myrrh, you put the myrrh on the charcoal. You walk around your entire house or apartment, room to room, closet to closet, area to area, corner to corner, bathroom to bathroom. And you smoke it out. And in your mind, you clear out whatever negativity you want. You do it with the myrrh first. Smoke that whole house out with the myrrh. Once all of the myrrh is going in the charcoal will still be lit. Crack every window. Crack it like that much. Every window. Okay? Because then all of the myrrh, what the myrrh does, it takes all of the negative energy that was attached to you and it removes it out. It sucks it out. After you do that, wait 5 minutes. You know what? Not even 5 minutes. Wait 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Wait 2 minutes. Take the frankincense stones now and you put it on top of that same charcoal. Close all the windows and you smoke out. You leave the frankincense smoke in that house because that's the positive energy. And you leave it lingering in there. And you do that for 7 days straight. Okay? After you do that, you get a bath. Go and get a 7-day high salt bath. And you just pour a little bit in a bowl, maybe 2 caps in a bowl, and fill it up because it suds up and stuff. You pour it all over you. Do not wash it off for 7 days. And you do that every month. Smoke the house out for 7 days. Do the 7-day bath. You do that every month. You do that every month for the year. The first year, you do that every month. For 12 months, you do it. After the 12 months, then you do it every 3 months. But when you do it every 3 months, make sure you add more myrrh to the charcoal because you want to make sure it get all of that negative energy. If you live on a base, if you have a house and it has a basement, spend time in that basement completely. Then you go up to the other level. Then you go up to the other level. And then you repeat. Remember, crack the windows, then close them, put the frankincense, and do it. You always want to use them separate. If you get them together, the only way you can use them together is already if your house is already filled with positivity. You get your stones, you get your crystals, you lay them out on your altar properly, and you just leave it there to bring in the energy. You leave this, you get some selenite, you get a nice stone selenite, and you put it at your front door. Front door, if you have a back door, if you have a house. If you have an apartment, you leave it at your front door. If you have a balcony, you put it at your balcony. You get another one and you put it at the door of your balcony. Back in front. You should have a selenite crystal in your bathroom because that's where you clean up. You wash all the dirt and the negativity off of you for the day. If you live in an apartment, you go around your apartment every day and smoke it out. Get sage, frankincense for the apartment. Anyone you bring into your house, you make sure you smoke it before they come and you smoke it after. Because whatever energy they have on them, you don't want it lingering in the home because it will attach itself to you. You must always take your spiritual baths every month. You want to do it every weekend? That's fine. You can do that. If you want to do it every week, that's fine. If you want to do it every 2 weeks, that's fine. But it should be done every month, all the time. If you have children, they should get them as well. These are things that are very important because if you think in the nighttime these spirits are busy, oh, they more busy in the daytime as well. Because the daytime people are outside and don't realize that the outside is the most energy spirits need. People are out there. All those emotions you go through outside, watch where the fuck you going. Honk, honk, get the fuck out of the way. You're now putting it together, right? Can you realize how many spirits are out there in the daytime and how much bodies they have to interact with to feed off of? You don't think about that. Watch the behaviors in the daytime. Well, I don't care where you live. You could live in another country. It could be Russia, could be China, could be Ukraine, could be Africa, could be Madagascar, could be France, it could be Monaco, could be the Netherlands, it could be Spain, could be Puerto Rico, could be Panama, could be Jamaica, could be Trinidad, could be Costa Rica, could be Mexico, could be Hawaii, could be Alaska, could be Antarctica. It could be anywhere. Pay attention to people's behavior. Now that you've heard what I've said and broken down, pay attention to people's behavior and watch. You step outside of the box. There is no box in the first place. You put yourself